to this game was that we caught them on a back-to-back, which helped. We kept turnovers down the whole game, and they're missing a couple of guys, which helped too. But we played a good game, and we did the things that we needed to do to give ourselves a good chance at this. So happy for our guys. Road wins have been hard to come by, but this one was earned and much needed.
What do you think of Karas's performance, and particularly getting hot, but then not forcing up any shots and just kind of moving the ball still and trusting his team?
I really like the way Karas played. He got things going early, and was able to do his thing within the flow of our team, which is really awesome when that happens. He's a very special player. He has some very unique skills, a very unique sense for the game, and he's not just a scorer. He's a playmaker too. And so, I thought everyone kept everyone involved, and that was a big key tonight. And we needed to play with tempo against this team because of all their switching, all their steals guys, their quickness, all that kind of stuff. If we hadn't, we would have been in a lot of 6-second end of the clock ISO situations all night long, and that's a recipe for bad situations.
Defensively, what do you think was key to keeping DeRozan off the line, like we talked about before the game, and making it harder on obviously two of the best scorers in the league, LaVine and DeRozan?
Just again, we caught a break with them playing last night, and they played a difficult, hard-fought, grinding type game. Even though they didn't travel, it's and then Caruso being out was a break for us because he's been a high-impact player for them. So we caught some breaks, but you still got to deal with those two guys. They're both superstar scorers. LaVine is he's a gold medal winning Olympic player, and I still think DeRozan's one of the most underrated players in the history of the game. Just what he's done in his career and how he continues to just keep it going. He's a remarkable player. So those guys scored, but they didn't go crazy, and that was important.
In the starting lineup again, is that something you're looking to stick with? I know you had another really strong game, obviously shooting the ball pretty well these last couple of games.
He got us off to a very good start, hit the first shot of the game, hit a key shot or two, end of the shot clock. The plus-minus number, I think, tells the story. I mean, the guy's plus 27 in 25 minutes, which is great. And he's such a consistent player at both ends of the floor and such an important veteran on our team. He's a leader, and he's just a very, very good player. And to tell you the truth, it's hard to get him off the floor. It just is. But we got to be mindful of, the fact that there's a certain number of minutes which is optimal for every player. Karas's number is increasing gradually. Fortunately, we didn't have to go back to him in the second half, So this gives him, a day. We'll be off tomorrow, and, we'll have our prep on Wednesday morning for the Lakers, but gives him a day to recover as well. And, 2 games we've found a little momentum, and, now we got the Lakers coming in, and that's going to be tough, but we'll be ready.
How do you quantify just the last week or so? You had the games where maybe the effort wasn't there, and you come out with a game like tonight and take it to one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, our effort's been good for the most part. We had some lapses in the Charlotte game which were uncharacteristic and unfortunate. But the truth is, after 19 games, this 19 games to start the season, there's a certain number of full days off that you have to give per the Players Association agreement with the league. I don't know if we've been in a situation yet, okay, and we're over a month into this, where we have actually had a legal day off. And I'm one of the coaches around the league that gives days off. I believe in rest. But that means you have to arrive at home before midnight and give that day. That's not going to happen tonight because of the time change. Our only 2-day break has been in Denver in the altitude. I don't know if that really counts as a day off in the Players Association mind because you're not at home. I've never seen a schedule like this. And, 8 and 11, we don't like. But it feels like we're getting our footing. And we're a team that's not going to get any free lunch from anybody. That's clear. Whether it's the schedule makers, whether it's, anybody, we're going to have to earn it. We're going to have to earn it on every possession. And we've got to embrace that fact, and it's got to be something that brings us closer and closer together.
Rick, it's not often that you have a game where you never have to face a major run from your opponent. A lot of that a testament to your defense. What stood out to you about the way they were able to be so consistent tonight?
Yeah, I just think that our game plan was solid, and we caught them at the right time. With no Vucevic, who I think has been an all-star in this league, and no Caruso, who's probably as high an impact player in this league right now defensively that there is. But I don't want to take anything away from our guys. They in terms of game plan, discipline, and everything else, the plan was we had to keep turnovers low. We had 4 in the first half, which was a great number. Malcolm made a great play at the end of the first to give us our biggest lead. We knew that zone was going to be something we were going to use in this game. And zone is not a panacea. It's not a sugar pill that cures a common cold. Zone is a hard defense that you have to play hard and together, and you have to be very smart to play it the right way. And our guys did a really great job with it tonight. And we walked through some things in the ballroom this morning, in our prep, of some things that we're going to need to do in this game well. And the execution was good.
Hey, Rick, you've talked a lot about pace recently and how important it is to control the pace. Do you feel like you did that in this game? And, since that pace has changed a lot from win to win against Sacramento, you've always talked about slowing it down. How important do you feel like it is to be the team that controls the pace in a given game?
Yeah, the exact pace for each game is going to be different depending on the opponent. But one thing we're certainly learning about our team is that we've got to play with momentum, we've got to play with force, and we've got to play free. Our guys, and the more randomly we can play, the better. Athletes in this league perform better, they execute better when they don't know exactly when their shots are going to come or where their shots are going to come. Because it becomes more of a reactive game and less of a thinking game. So, this is stuff that we've worked on since the beginning of training camp. But, the tempo thing is a real thing, and it means that we have to play with the right kind of speed, and we can't play frantic and willy-nilly. And we've been doing a good job of that the last 2 games. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got Isaiah back with you tonight, and he played, got in the last few minutes. I know when he initially got injured, you were concerned that it might have been more of a long-term thing than it wound up being. What did you see from him with the Mad Ants last week, and what's it mean to have him back with the team?
Well, I'm just so happy, thrilled for him to see him back in an NBA game with no knee brace on. It was about a month ago when we were in Toronto when this thing happened, probably a little less than a month ago. It was a very scary situation. We were all very concerned. He was concerned, and it just turned out that we got very lucky. He got very lucky, and so he's back and feeling good, and he's a guy that's going to be ready to help us if called upon.
We'll do one more, Scott. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rick, what's it like to be on the positive side of a blowout where everything's kind of going your way and you can start even thinking about giving guys extra time?
What's it like?
Yeah, you just don't see a ton of blowouts like this, especially when they're favorable. What kind of things are going through your mind? What are you thinking about? Can you relax a little bit?
We just had 2 in a row, so it means that we've done some very good things to get in that position. But if you notice, in the beginning of the fourth quarter, we had one guy go for a gamble, give up a 3. We had another next play down. They lay the ball in. We got to call timeout and get in the huddle and get the wheels back on the wagon. 5-0 runs can pile up pretty quickly, and so give the guys credit. I thought Wanamaker did a good job the last 8 minutes, getting that group settled. And, I believe, well, I guess I spoke a little too soon. I thought we had everybody that was a positive. But the only minuses we had were -2s in a game that was, a pretty big margin. But, look, these games obviously are more fun than the nail-biters that you lose. But everything's a process, and you got to go, kind of day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute with everything in the NBA. But I like a lot of the things we're doing. I think we're getting better in some areas, and we've just got to continue.
Adjustment, or for you, or how have you kind of looked at coming off the bench and accepting that role versus starting like you had done to start the season?
Coach talked to me about coming off the bench, and I told him, I'll do anything you ask me to do. If that's, what's going to help the team win games, I would do it. I don't have no problem doing that. And just staying ready,
You were out. Did you have an opportunity to maybe look at the game from a different perspective? Like, what were you doing to just stay engaged and, I guess, keep learning even though you weren't playing?
Well, just like you say, from outside you can see better. So I'm learning, I'm watching the game. I see things, seeing players like today, like DeMar DeRozan, how well he played, on the control he plays. So I'm just learning, learning as much as I can, watching, us play, my teammates playing. So that's what I do in the bench while I'm in the bench.
What do you think this type of game, this type of performance overall as a team says about the group you all have?
What was the question?
What do you think a game like this does or says about the group that you all have to come out and play the Bulls as well?
Well, it says a lot. It says, how good we are. We just got to, bring that same energy day in and day out. So, keep playing together, moving the ball. We played great defense today. That was the big key, and moving the ball. So we just got to keep doing it, and it show you, how good we are and how good we can be.
Carlisle said that you all went through like a lot of walkthroughs and stuff, through a ballroom or something, or was that like at the hotel, or was it here? Like, he said that you all went through some stuff in the ballroom, and I guess it translated onto the court tonight.
Yeah, it definitely did. We went through that in the hotel.
How important do you think that was to, I guess, visualize it and then go out there and execute it?
It's always important to go, through the other teams' plays and, stuff. It's always good to do that. It's always good to do your homework before the exam. So,
Pat, go ahead.
Chris, what has stood out to you about the defensive effort you guys have put forth the last 2 games?
Well, communication. We talking. We playing hard. We being physical, and just lock in on the scout report. know who you got in and what the person likes to do.
Scott, go ahead.
Chris, with your shoulder, is it a pain threshold? Is it playing through pain, or what is the challenge like for you to play in each game right now when you're not 100%?
Well, I'm just doing anything that I can to help the team. Yeah, my shoulders bother me, but I'm getting better. You know, I'm getting treatment every day, and yeah, I have a little pain in my shoulder, but you know, I gotta do anything, you know, to help the team.
Leonardo.
Hola Cris, te saluda Leonardo Torres de Perú, felicidades por la victoria. Cris, ¿cuál es el balance que puedes hacer de estos primeros partidos de la temporada y qué representa para ti jugar con alguien tan bueno como Domantas Sabonis?
¿Cuál fue la pregunta, Leonardo? Escúchame, me perdí.
¿Cuál es el balance que puedes hacer de esta primera parte de la temporada y lo que significa para ti jugar con Domantas Sabonis?
Bueno, lo que significa para mí jugar con Sabonis. Sabonis es un buen jugador. Un muchacho que juega el básquetbol de la manera correcta. A él le gusta moverse, pasar el balón, cortar. Y a mí me gusta jugar así. A mí me gusta jugar con él porque él a la misma vez juega rápido, pero en control. Es un buen pasador, es bien inteligente. Cuando él hace esos picks, él y yo corremos el pick and roll, somos efectivos, buenas cosas pasan. Me gusta mucho jugar con Sabonis.
Luis.
Cris, buenas noches. Es Luis Enrique Acosta de Compendio Deportivo. Felicidades por la victoria. Hace aproximadamente un mes hablaste que estabas lanzando fuera de balance. ¿Ya has podido mejorar esta situación? Bueno, ahora por tu sonrisa veo que sabes de lo que estoy hablando. ¿Y cómo te has sentido ahora en estos juegos?
Bueno, Luis, todavía estoy trabajando en eso, en el balance. Es algo que toma tiempo porque yo he venido haciendo eso no desde ahora, desde high school. Los coaches me han estado hablando sobre el balance. Es algo que estoy trabajando y trato de no hacerlo. Pero creo que eso se me va a quedar, así que yo juego. Y nada, me siento bien.
Duarte said, you studied for the test and you all did pretty well. So what does a win like this say about, one, the focus you put into it, and then I guess a stepping stone moving forward?
Yeah, beating a team that's high-powered and doing well in the Eastern Conference, in our conference, is big for us. We've been trying to figure out how we can play a full 48 minutes, play on both sides of the ball consistently in the game and start off the game the right way. And we're trying to put a string of games together and doing that. And that's our main goal coming in, is to play together, to play hard, and leave it all out there. And we've done that the last two games. So being able to do that tonight and win the game and win it the way we did, I think is good for us. It's good for our team to see that when we play that way, it works. And it doesn't always mean it's gonna you're gonna blow a team out or whatever, but you give yourself a good chance when you play the way we've been playing.
What was the conversation like with have you talked to Chris about, the whole switching roles and, he's moving to the bench, you're in the starting lineup. If you did have a conversation with him, what was that like to just, I guess, help him through it?
Yeah, I actually did. Again, because I've been in this league for a while, I've been on both sides of starting to come off the bench, and, I know the mentality that he has. He's put a lot of work in. He's a great player, one of our top scorers, and will be a starter in this league. There's no question about it in my mind. It's just sometimes on certain teams, what that role is for you or how it works for you, it sometimes looks a little different than the way you want it to be. But it doesn't mean that wanting that goal is a problem. It doesn't mean that you won't achieve that goal. It just means it's best for what the team's doing right now, and we still need you. Now I'm a little older. I've played in this league a while, and starting or not starting doesn't matter to me. But I do remember when I was his age when it did. And so I was just trying to explain to him, I understand what you're feeling, what you're thinking. The thing is, you were more in a position to be a starter at your age than I was. And you're going to be. It's just we need you to be the same player you are being. The way that things are working on our team right now, and you come off the bench allows you to, do a little more here and there, and just to kind of show him where he'll be able to still impact the game. Because it's hard. When you're young, you focus a lot on being a starter and doing those things like that, and it's just trying to give him a different side of how he can still help and how he's still just as valuable even though he doesn't have that starting role. And, everybody on the team understands that, from him.
How do you think Kara set the tone? Obviously, 5-5 first quarter, 10 points. And it seems like this season he's has moments of trying to force things, but tonight, for the most part, you kind of let it come to him.
Yeah, one thing about Karras is he's going to be ultra aggressive. He's going to go and get it regardless of that shot's going or not. To be honest with you, that's how all of us need to play in the sense of you play your game, you shoot your shot. If it falls, it falls. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Karras will not ever back down, and we need him to be that way. Because like tonight, you helped us get a good start like that. We get on top, and we didn't get back down after. So, it's still early in the season. There's going to be times where he's going to, score a lot of points. There's going to be times he's going to miss a few. The same thing's happened to me. I go games when I miss, I can miss everything, and go games when I'm making everything. But more than not, likely he's going to be making more than missing after a while, especially getting in the groove. And once, his body's starting to feel the right way. So the way he started off was great for us. And, we're going to need it. Again, he's one of our top scorers. Like I said, him and Chris, the way they play the game, we need him to be aggressive. Chris is doing a good job, even in having that role change. Because again, I know it's hard for him. It'd be hard for anybody, but he's mature and stepping into that role and being aggressive and being him, and he's helping us win games.
Go ahead.
Justin, you guys seemed really focused, really locked in from the beginning tonight. How would you describe the mindset going into this game?
Yeah, the mindset was pretty much to come out like we did the last game. We showed ourselves, again, like I said earlier, that when we play together, when we put the effort out there on the court to play for each other. And again, as cliche as that sounds, and everybody wants to, play for each other, they say they do. When we actually go out there and do it, good things happen. And so yesterday, last game was the game when we actually saw the result of, if we play this way, it's actually fun. Everybody gets involved, everybody's touching the ball, everybody's happy. And then when we're helping each other on defense and getting stops and getting out, running fast, we realize that's what we want to do. So we're trying to make sure we did that tonight, and we're going to try to continue to do that for the rest of the season.
Jordan.
Justin, you just talked about playing fast. How important do you feel like controlling the pace is to winning games for you guys this season?
Yeah, controlling the pace doesn't always mean, being slow. I think it means us being controlled in what we're doing, us playing the way we want to, and not allowing the team to dictate how we are playing. So, that could mean not letting the team speed us up or at the same time slow us down. And when we come out and, again, play like we did these last two games, and playing fast but playing in control, playing for one another, picking our spots when we can, go and score quicker, picking our spots when we have to play through a whole 24 seconds, we've been doing a good job of that. Our point guards, Malcolm and TJ have did a great job of either getting the ball up or pushing it themselves or telling us, when we got to slow it down. So I think us having that control in the sense of knowing what to do and when and not getting sped up, not getting slowed down and doing what we want to do and dictating the game the way we want it has been good for us these past two games. And, again, hopefully we can continue to do that. We've been taking care of the ball, which has showed that we've controlled the pace the way we want to.
I guess how do you think you all did with that test tonight?
I think we did good. I think we took advantage of them playing last night and running up and down, getting them tired, and just really, really locking in defensively.
What's the conversation like after a win like this, especially knowing how things looked a week ago?
After games, Rick's really straight to the point. It's a good win. We did a lot of good things, but we got to move on to the next game. We play, what day is it today? Monday. We play Wednesday, so Lakers. So we just got to lock in. Get our bodies right and be ready for the next one.
What's been the key to the ball movement lately? You had like 27 assists, something on 40 made baskets.
Yeah, we're just sharing it. Guys are trusting each other. Coaches letting us run, be faster out there, be more free, and guys are willing to give it up, and it's contagious, and everybody wants to go out there and have fun.
Yeah, go ahead.
Domas, you had a lot of success offensively, especially in the first half. They're a little shorthanded in the front court. Did you make it a point to try to take advantage of that tonight?
I feel like every game, do my job, as a big man, go out there, create pressure inside and try and get offensive rebounds. Today Vucevic was out, so try to make more of an impact on that early. You know, Miles did a great job today too doing that. So I feel like that really helped us.
Scott.
Domas, you guys are nearly 500 as you kind of wrapped up this brutal stretch to start the year. How do you feel like you guys came out of it and handled through it, now seeing the other side?
Yeah, you know, it was tough at times. You know, I don't think we still haven't done much. You know, we still have a lot of season left. We just got to keep building on this, trusting each other, moving the ball, and locking in on the defensive end.
And knowing you have 9 of your next 10 at home, is that just sense of relief that not only you can be at home but play in front of your fans?
Yeah, especially being on the road, you know, being back home with our families, with our fans, you know, we love playing at home, you know, so it's going to be fun.
Brendan.
Yeah, Domas, after the starters hit a little bit of a bump, what have you seen change over these past 2 games that's clicking more for you all?
I feel like we're getting up the floor quicker, you know, no matter if it's a make or a stop, we're just running, we're throwing the ball ahead, you know, and then someone's creating an advantage off that, you know, and then after that, we're just reading and playing basketball. We got a lot of smart guys on this team, and we're just trying to use it.
Leonardo.
Domantas, te saluda Leonardo Torres desde Perú. Puedo preguntar en español, ¿no?
Sí.
Domantas, ¿cuáles son tus impresiones sobre Chris Duarte y cómo crees que se han adaptado a lo que propone el coach Carlisle?
Creo que Chris es un jugador fantástico, está jugando muy bien. Siempre es un jugador muy listo. Juega a su ritmo, sabe llegar a sus sitios, hace buenos tiros, sabe pasar la pelota, hace un poco de todo, ¿sabes? Y eso nos ayuda mucho.